What is up, my nerds? So, again, it's no big mystery that I am a big fan of the Godzilla and MonsterVerse movies. I rave about them. I cry about them. I love them. I just takes me back to my childhood. Remember watching them on television, the old Toho movies, and ever since then, I've just been obsessed with that universe, and I really love the new MonsterVerse. But when I saw the trailer for Godzilla minus one, oh man, the level of intrigue that happened, exponential. So it was dropped on the first, and I ran out and watched it the next day. So here's my spoiler-free review. Yeah, we'll keep it maybe spoilerish. Spoilerish. I'll probably get spoiled some of it, so you've been warned. Godzilla minus one. It's a kickback to the old Toho movies with a modern twist. We don't have Godzilla in a rubber suit, but we do have him CGI'd. And we have the old school Tokyo background. This time it's set in 1945, towards the end of World War II. This movie works in so many ways. So again, let me backtrack. The plot revolves around a kamikaze flight soldier, air pilot, by the name of Shikishima, who essentially abandons his position or kind of tricks his way out of killing himself. Again, kamikaze pilot. And lands on an island to get repairs. Well, that island ends up getting attacked by Godzilla. Still in his infant form, it seems, because he's pretty small there. I'd say relative to the T-Rex from like Jurassic Park. So big, but not too crazy. It definitely has more aspects and attributes to a dinosaur than he does to Godzilla at that point, because he's still young. So he survives World War II, again, as an abandoned pilot, and then he moves on to this area. Here, he's a survivor of this attack as well because he's too afraid to basically shoot Godzilla from his plane. Everybody else dies. It's just him and a mechanic. And then we start following his path as he's fighting not only survivor's guilt, but honor in general because he doesn't feel he's worth the life he's been granted. Along the way, he comes across a woman with a baby. Again, this is post-World War, or this is World War II-ish towards the end, so Tokyo's been decimated. A lot of abandoned families, a lot of abandoned people, a lot of torn homes. So he does meet a woman, Noriko, and she has the baby, as I mentioned before. But it's not hers. Come to find out, it's a child that she found abandoned and is raising her. They end up building a family together. He takes her in, and over the course of the next couple of years, they raise this girl. But he's adamant that it's not his daughter, that's not his wife. He clearly loves her. You can see it. She loves him, but he doesn't believe he has the honor or right to allow that part of his life to happen. Like, he doesn't think he deserves it. To him, they're there. He's there to protect them. He's doing his best, but at the end of the day, he does not deserve them. Within the course of this, we're fast forwarding a couple of years, and along that, we also have a glimpse of the nuclear tests that the U.S. was doing at Bikini Atoll, at which Godzilla actually is there, and they alter him even more. So that's where he starts getting his giant size. So the nuclear blast engulfs him with radiation, and he becomes Godzilla. At the beginning, they do refer to Godzilla as like an urban legend, but now everybody's faced with the fact that this guy's real. This monster is real, and he's heading towards Tokyo. The military doesn't really want to acknowledge or put more assets into defending Tokyo and stopping Godzilla, so it's up to essentially all these decommissioned soldiers in Japan's naval officers to implement a plan to stop Godzilla, and they do. They get together and they brainstorm this whole plan. I'm getting too far into the plot. Anyways, this movie's great. What works is the family element, the heart and soul of it. The acting is great. Like, you really feel for Shigashima's guilt. You can feel his pain that this isn't a life. You can see his journey to become an honorable man as well. And then, like I said, his bond with his family, and then his bond with his fellow shipmates that he ends up befriending, and they become a family as well. And it's really shot beautifully. Like, the movie's gorgeous. The Tokyo scenes, the throwback scenes, the majority of the CGI is great. My main complaint, I'll get to here in a minute, it touches on that, but I'll wait until I get past all the good stuff. Our actors are phenomenal in their roles. Godzilla is menacing. Godzilla is everything it was meant to be. Like, this really was an update to those Toho movies. Like, again, I love the new Godzilla movies that are coming on the mainstream. This movie has nothing to do with that. This is a whole separate thing and is an homage to the original Godzilla movies. But you get the vibe. You get a great soundtrack, great score. All in all, like, it was a little over 2 hours and you didn't feel it. You were there for that whole journey and really invested in these characters, and I loved it. It was cool to see Godzilla in an updated form. Like, you could tell it was the design aspects of old, but touched up for new. Not as aggressive as Shin Godzilla, really attuned for what it was supposed to be. With that, my only complaint with this movie really is the CGI that was done on Godzilla wasn't always consistent. So the scenes where he is coming upon Tokyo and walking in Tokyo looked exactly like they did in the original movies. Movements were really slow. Looked like there was somebody in a rubber suit, but it was clearly CGI. But in comparison to the action scenes, anytime that he was actually in any kind of fighting motion, he had a full range of motions. So it didn't really make sense for him to be as stiff as he was when he was walking to the shore and into the city, versus him reacting to a fighter plane or attacking the boats or anything of that nature. I wish he was more fluid in his movements. And again, that's the only real thing. It was pretty small. If you're a fan of the Godzilla movies or property in general, and especially if you're a fan of the Toho movies, go watch this. And understand, this is in Japanese, so there are subtitles. I didn't watch the dubbed version. I watched the original language, which was phenomenal. But yes, they did everything right. Everything right. Down to the end. The end even left you with a level of completion, but also wanting more, because they do set up a little, it's not a stinger, but it's right before the credits. They leave you bait. I'll leave it at that. That's the perfect thing. Leave a little bit of bait. But I personally loved it. I think you will too. I give it a 4.5 out of 5, only because that really bothered me with Godzilla's movements. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, of course. If you like this review, share it. It would be really appreciated. And remember, I appreciate you.